Why should you care about UDAAP? Hi there, this is Jared Moyer with Bankers Compliance Consulting. If you're not familiar with the acronym, it's unfair, deceptive, or abusive acts or practices. And you should very much care. Here's why. That UDAAP regulation, unfair, deceptive, or abusive acts or practices. You see, it's the regulation that provides oversight where regulations stop and don't go any further, or they fail to exist in the first place. You see, we have a lot of older regulations that were, when they were written, you take truth in savings, take Reg B, some of the pieces of it, take Reg E, some of the places within Reg E, very thin. Whereas you take some of these newer regulations, like take TRID, for example, when it first came out, 1,800 pages. We all went, why do we have to have 1,800 pages? Because deep down, in places we don't talk about at parties and with our friends, we want 1,800 pages because we want somebody to simply tell us exactly, word for word, how to do it. Because when they don't tell us word for word how to do it and they leave things out, we're to call that the gray area. When the areas are left to be gray, that's where there's UDAAP risk. Right? When we're not told exactly how to carry something out, it just says do it, and we don't do it, maybe the way examiner A versus examiner B expects us to do it, or how we expect to be doing it, that's where the subjectiveness of unfair, deceptive, or abusive acts or practices comes into play. Now, there are certain criteria for each one of those that they have to check the box on if they're going to make it qualify for unfair, deceptive, or abusive. But the mere presentation of something being potentially unfair, deceptive, or abusive should get our antennas to go up and say, all right, this is serious. Lay the cards on the table. What's going on? Show me how it meets those criteria. Here's the thing, your team needs to be walking around with a certain level of awareness as it relates to UDAAP, unfair, deceptive, or abusive acts or practices. Not everyone sees things the same way, and sometimes you can't see the forest for the trees because you're too deep inside it. We need somebody that's not part of whatever it is to be able to flip the switch and go, you know, I think that might be unfair, or that might be deceptive, or that might be abusive. And we sit down and we talk about it. And we have a discussion to make sure that we're not falling into one of those UDAAP traps. There's a lot of them out there, folks. If UDAAP is something that your team is looking for some help with, we have some solutions in our website, within our store, or better yet, pick up the phone and give us a call. We'd love to figure out a way to partner with you to help you meet those UDAAP challenges that you all face. I'd love to talk to you more about that. Thanks.